Hey dreamers, this is Jade. Welcome back to my channel. I am here to do some catching up in my journaling, specifically my one line a day journal, my 5 year, and my mini bullet journal. So basically, this is just footage of me filling in the spots that I did not fill in because either I just needed like to put a couple of words or I wanted to print some pictures and stuff like that. So I left it for the day and would come back to it, and this is just built up over time. So I'm going through and making sure I get all my entries done. Some things I just didn't fill in because I just didn't feel like doing it that night, but I am filling everything in and getting like all my pictures and stuff like that that I wanted to put down in it. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing here. I'm starting off with my one line a day journal and getting that caught up, and I do believe this is all footage from, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so this footage is from August through I think like early October. So yeah, because even in my mini bullet journal, I realized that I hadn't caught up my, like, where I keep my media stuff. I hadn't caught up that for August or September. So I did that in this video as well. And so yeah, just doing that and going through and doing it first in my one line a day journal. And once I'm done in here, I'll do the exact same thing in my 5 year Hobonichi. And as I said before, this is kind of a repetitive process for me. But if it gets to the point where I just don't feel like doing that anymore, I will eliminate the one line a day journal. However, as you can see, I am in my 4th year in my one line a day journal. I have one more year to go. So I very much doubt that I'll be eliminating this before it's complete. I would love for this to be a complete thing. My 5 year journal, I am actually in my 2nd year, so next year will be my 3rd year, so looking forward to doing that. And so yeah, it's just keeping track of my life, little things here and there, quick little blurbs. And then of course I do my creative journaling and like keeping up in my mini bullet journal. And I have since I transitioned into my new mini bullet journal, I have been not just keeping a log of what I do hourly, but I do like a quick synopsis of my day over on the right side of the page too, which is what I was doing before, but then I stopped doing that and just was doing the hourlies on every page. But I think I liked it better when I made a quick little synopsis of what I was doing during the day, and if there was something I needed to make note of that I wanted to eventually journal in my creative journal, I could do that there, because I was doing the times and I just realized that I wasn't really writing down like the significant stuff that I wanted to go back and journal about, or I would forget about it. So I definitely started doing it the other way again, just so I could make note of that. Anyway, so I'm just getting all of this filled in, as you can see. And once I'm done with this, I will move on to my 5 year journal and get my entries caught up in that. So here we are in my 5 year journal by Hobonichi, and as you can see, it is basically the same process. There are just days where I didn't complete either, I was not feeling the greatest, I just didn't feel like filling it in that day, or I definitely knew I wanted to print a picture or something to go along with the day, and so I just waited until I had a sheet of pictures and stuff filled up to be able to print and cut it and get it in my journal. And so that's what I'm doing here, just going in and getting all of that done. Again, same thing from my one line a day journal I'm doing here. Um, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. So yeah, anyway, that's basically what is going on here. And I noticed that some days I will go ahead and some days I'll go ahead and work in my 5 year and skip the one line a day journal and vice versa. I don't know why I do that. But anyway, just getting everything down. Very excited because my Hobonichi order came, and you'll see me fill that in once October hits, and stuff like that. So that is basically what's going on here in my 5 year journal. And then once I'm done with that, I will go ahead and fill in all of the media that I consumed in August and September in my mini bullet journal, and you'll get to see how that's going. So yeah. Okay, and so here is a section where I actually ended up writing the wrong thing on the wrong day, and so I'm going back and fixing it. Again, sometimes there are just ways to fix your mistakes. This is like leftover paper from a Nanami cafe that I had cut down, and so these papers for some reason just fit exactly in this 5 year, and so I just cut it down to the size I needed as far as lengthwise, and just stuck it in there because it fits widthwise for some reason. Perfect. And so I just cover it up there, write in the 2025, the day, and then put in the actual entry that needed to go on that day. So again, you make mistakes in your journals, there are ways to cover it up. Do not fret and worry about it and stuff like that. You can cover it up. So yeah, that is pretty much what I'm doing here. And then once I'm done with this, as I said before, I will move on to my mini bullet journal and getting that caught up. So we're in my new mini bullet journal, y'all. It is October when I'm actually catching this stuff up here. For August and September, I don't know why I got so behind doing this part. Um, it could be probably the whole thing with the hospitals and stuff, but whatever. And I realized in August, I was like, dang, I didn't really watch a lot of stuff. And then it hit me that I was really, really watching a lot of the Yankee games. And then sometimes, once the Yankee game went off, because sometimes they weren't going off until like 10 or 11, I would just hang out in the bed and do other stuff. And then, of course, eventually I would turn on One Piece and watch One Piece as my middle of the night show. But other than that, sometimes I would just do nothing, or like I would play my game. I was really into, and still really into, playing Breath of the Wild again, or read my books and make sure I get make a dent in those. So yeah, I was doing other stuff here, and that's why there wasn't a whole lot going on as far as watch wise in August, because I was really really watching a lot of the Yankee games. Um, and unfortunately, they were out of the tournament. And once they played the Blue Jays, I think the Blue Jays defeated them. Now it looks like the Mariners versus the Blue Jays in the rest of the tournament at the moment, anyway. And I think so far the Mariners have taken a lead. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm not really into the rest of baseball. I just care about the Yankees. So yeah. Anyway, since August is over, I'm going through and getting everything done for September. And it looks like here I have watched a lot more stuff than I did in August. So I'm getting all my boxes ready. Again, I do 5x5 boxes. And the icons that I print out are 0.75 by 0.75, or 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch, if anybody's interested in doing this themselves. So yeah. And the notebook that I'm using is a Create with Pen Inkjet notebook. I've used these the past couple years now, and I love that it's a thicker notebook and it carries me through more months than the Loish term used to. And although there's nothing wrong with that Loish, I loved that Loish term, the little pocket Loish term I used to use. I just like this one because it does give me more months that I can fit into the notebook without having to buy a new one. So yeah, really really glad about that. But anyway, and I'm getting my media down for the month of September, y'all. I've rewatched Norbert. I love Norbert. It's the funniest movie to me. And I just found out, although my sister quotes a part of the movie to me, one of my favorite parts, she has never actually seen the whole thing. And I'm like, we have to remedy that quick, fast, and in a hurry, because what do you mean you have never seen Norbit? So yeah, that is my movie right there. And then I watched The Burning Man with my mom, and then of course just some other things. Wild Cards, Chief of War, that was really good on Apple TV. And then of course I was listening to on repeat in September, Man I Need by Olivia Dean. I really really love that song. It's so fun and poppy and just it happy. It's just like a happy song. So definitely love that song. And as I said before, I do want to eventually do a spread for it in my Valerie journal. But this is getting wrapped up. If you have any comments or questions about anything, please leave those below. Trust you all have been safe and well, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.